And our guest today, a leading scientist in the field of robotics. Please welcome Dr. Nobita Nobi.
I am truly honored.
Oh, it's Nobita.
He is the one who possesses the most advanced technology that Japan is very proud of.
Oh no, Japan's #1 should be Prime Minister Dekhi.
Oh, looks like Nobita just got back. Let's call him.
Wait, this is enough. Actually, I just wanted to talk to you today. Do you remember Doreamon?
How could I forget it? That bastard. He suddenly said he had to go back to the future and then disappeared. We went through life and death together. How could he leave like that without a single word?
Yes, he suddenly disappeared. And from then on, Nobita changed too.
Have you ever heard of what's called a time anomaly?
Doraemon! Lend me that toy from last time. Gian is bullying me again. I can't stand it anymore. What's going on, Doraemon? Say something. Even you're teasing me? I'm talking to you, Doraemon. Doraemon? Nobita-san! What happened to Doraemon, Dorami? He's been lying here motionless all day? I think his battery is completely dead. Battery dead? I understand. Let's quickly replace the battery. It's not that simple. Older robot cats have a backup memory module stored in their ears, used when the batteries need replacing. But Doraemon lost his ears a long time ago, so there's no backup data left. If we replace his battery now, all his memories will be erased. Even the memories of you will disappear completely. Will all of Doraemon's memories be erased?
Nonsense! He just ran out of battery! If we replace the battery, he'll be fine, right?
Nobita, please calm down. Advanced robots are just like humans. They only retain the most important data. The rest can be forgotten. All right. I'll take him to the futuristic factory for repairs.
You can't use the time machine anymore. Any interference with your era has been completely forbidden.
I was going to travel to the 20th century to help Doraemon, but the Time Patrol won't allow it. Then I'll take one of his devices and... You can't open the bag when it's not working, and besides, we don't have the expertise to repair such complicated things. Then let's ask the person who created it. Information about our creator is top secret government data. Even I have to set a security code to protect it. Because of the ban, they're going to confiscate your communication device. This might be the last time we talk. Now you only have two choices, Nobita-san. One option is to replace his battery at the future factory. Even though his memories are erased, I think you guys can be together again. The other option is to just leave Doraemon like this and wait for future advancements.
Nobita, Doraemon, it's time for dinner!
What's going on?
They're not answering. It seems they're arguing again. Doraemon, do you remember the first day we met?
Are you unhappy? That was New Year's Day, right? I was so scared then. We've traveled to so many places together, haven't we? Through the future, the past, and even worlds we have never known. We almost died so many times, and at that moment, you didn't know what to do either. Every time I get bullied, you rushed in as if you were the one being bullied. You may not know, but I'm really happy. We argued a lot, but we always made up so quickly, didn't we?
Say something, Doraemon.
Doraemon, Doraemon. I understand. You never want the memories between the two of you to be erased. Doraemon would be very happy if he knew. I'm also very happy to have met you. I believe there will be a way in the future. Goodbye, Nobita-san.
Look, the new scores are up.
Nobita! Amazing! You're first again!
Congratulations! Now no one can catch up to you, Nobita.
Thank you. But high grades aren't what I really want, and I need more knowledge. So, I still have to try harder.
Don't overwork yourself. It's not good for your health. We haven't gone on a picnic in ages. Come with us, Nobita.
Thank you, Shizuka. But I have some things to analyze. Maybe next time?
Nobita! Oh, it's Nobita! Nobita!
Nobita has changed so much.
No, he hasn't changed at all.
Although he was once clumsy and lazy, he understands what others expect of him.
Despite all the misfortune he faces, he always smiles. He is truly strong.
But ever since Doreamon disappeared, he just works and works without saying anything to anyone.
No way! I have to drag him on the picnic no matter what!
Time anomaly.
Is it that when time travel to the past affects the future?
Exactly. At present, our scientific progress is facing serious difficulties and a deadlock.
The main reason is that Doraemon's appearance in the past made us rely too heavily on his gadgets.
Yeah, that's right. When we were kids, we even traveled through outer space.
I even fought aliens.
Doraemon's appearance 35 years ago unintentionally slowed down the pace of human evolution.
But today, a groundbreaking invention that will create a major leap in technology has been developed by a scientist.
This event has had a profound impact on human history. Therefore, the government has issued a top-secret directive. Any interference in that person's past is strictly prohibited.
So, is it okay to tell us that?
Is that the only promise he made in his childhood? Now I understand. He hasn't changed at all.
That was time anomaly. But in fact, 35 years ago, the dream of the entire world was entrusted to him.
Hey, Nobita.
Shizuka, look.
Didn't you say this place was dangerous and I shouldn't go near it? Doreamon?
Now I'll flip the ignition switch.
Nobita, have you done your homework yet?